So in Python, we have three different numeric types. We got integer, float, and complex. So there's not quite as many types as you're probably used to. I know a lot of languages have like 8 different integer types and 8 different float types. Here, it's just integer and float. Integer would be your whole numbers. Float would be any numbers with decimals. It also includes scientific notation. Python automatically is going to try to give you the most precise number as possible. So you don't really need to worry about precision, which deals with number of decimal places and rounding. Complex numbers are basically what you work with in algebra, where you've got a part of the number is unknown. And in Python, that is represented by the letter J. So a little equation like this, where J is your unknown. Okay, so that is how you would code it in Python. So in this case, X is your variable, and then here's your equation, J is the unknown. Z is your variable, and J is the unknown. And when you print these, it basically is printing out the equation. One thing that you need to remember in Python, anytime you do a calculation, the result is going to be a float. So if you do a calculation with 2 integers, the result will be a float. It always is going to give you a float result. So if we did division 4 by 2, we would not just get a 2, it's 2.0. Now, if you don't want the conversion to take place, you can do a little typecast. So we could say integer and in parentheses 4/2, then it's going to give us an integer result. Entering large integers or floats. This is new in Python 3.6. Sometimes it's difficult because you can't really enter the commas. It's difficult to enter large numbers because, you get like, where's the thousands mark or the millions mark? So Python allows you to do underscores where the commas would normally be located. Okay, and that will help you enter your numbers. And again, you can use the type to return the data type of the variable. So if you're not sure if it's integer or float, use type and it will tell you. Arithmetic operators that Python uses are pretty basic. So plus, minus, asterisk for multiplication, slash for division. Modulus is used in lots of different languages. That's the remainder of integer division. We have 2 asterisks for exponent. And this one is a little different. It's floor division. It retrieves the whole number and it discards the remainder. Okay, so in this little example, we have a couple variables that are assigned values, and then we're printing out the results. Python does also include a random number module that you can use to generate random numbers. And this comes in handy if you want to code up a game. In order to use it, you have to import random. So at the top of the program, you'll have import random. And then you're going to use the random object to call rand range, which is a method. And then you'll give it your starting number and your ending number. And if you do not provide a start number, it assumes 0. In Python, constants are values that don't change. That's pretty common among all languages. But in Python, those variables that constants are assigned to are entered in all capital letters. That is also the way it is done in C and C++ and some other languages. So entering variables in all capitals is something that we do for constants, and constants are values that don't change. And so in this little example, pay rate and hours are not changing. And we're basically calculating their gross pay and their overtime pay. And so now that we've talked about numbers, we are going to code some up.